Honestly, when I first saw Yago Luna in Rogue One, the movie, I wasn't that much impressed. It's possibly because it's the first time I saw him ever at all in any movie and in any show. So going into this series, I have to admit that I have already some biases negatively against him. But I told myself, you know what? Give him a chance. Maybe he is better here. Boy, I was mistaken. Season 1, Episode 1 of Andor doesn't open like any Star Wars. There's no crawl, no fanfare, no lightsabers, no spaceships
Right there.
shooting at each other.
No weapons,
Just rain,
no comms,
shadows,
no credits,
darkness,
no noise.
gloom.
In
It
you go.
starts off with Cassian walking into a bar,
Upstairs
searching
lounge
for
is closed
someone
tonight.
from his past, his sister from the planet Canary.
A friend of mine said there was a girl from Canary working here.
Canary.
The scene at the bar, they're already introducing a lot of things. They're introducing cocky guards, a planet called Canary, a sister from the dialogue, which is really a nice touch. Also, the scene where Cassian took on the two guards and killed both of them. This to me is a very important detail because it shows us that Cassian is willing to kill just to protect himself or his interests in general. Ferrix was a sparsely populated and barren planet dominated by vast and desolate wastelands, rocky mountains, and oceans of water. The wastelands came to be tamed and colonized by the population, harboring farmlands, industrial scrapyards, and sprawling cities made of brick and stone. The planet was frigid, and by the winter months, the ground became covered in layers of snow. This background gives even more context to the hardworking, resilient nature of the Ferrix. It doesn't have, the usual shiny tech, and it feels more like a local market. It kind of remind me actually of a place back in the Philippines called Divisoria. To me, it really felt that way, or maybe the 1900s New York version. That's how it felt to me. The workers are more than set dressing. We see how they move, literally. The camera follows mine workers being shuttled around in a long moving ground transport vehicle that runs through the center of Ferrix. It rides low to the ground, boxy, and rugged, clearly designed for function over comfort. It gives the entire industrial district a rhythm, as if the city breathes through this route. And when you dig a little deeper, it makes sense, right? The scenes weren't all green screen. Much of Andor was shot on real sets, even backlot locations dressed to look industrial. It's a filmmaking choice that pays off in atmosphere. Big time. I love the details. The doors don't just slide, it opens in a circular fashion. Generally, what they're telling us is that this is a working class planet and people do hard work here just to survive on a daily basis. Does that remind you of something, guys? Right? So, which is a pretty much a lot of things similar to what's happening on Earth. Sometime after they showed us Canary, or rather Ferrix, they then show us Canary. It's a jungle world, forested world, and it's got lots of kids. From what I see, there's not much adults living among them. Maybe it's something that I did not see at all. Maybe it's just in the background, but I did not see a lot of adults there. What I saw are a lot of kids. It also showed us how Cassian was very close to his sister in one of the scenes there. And you know what I want about Star Wars series in general, or Star Wars in general, is because it makes you wonder: are there planets like this in our own galaxy? Does that offer a lot of variety, similar to what Star Wars offers us? Is there diversity in planets, in terrain, in the type of living creatures living among or living around our galaxy as well. And then we met Serial Karn in a quiet, tense scene with his superior. It's not action packed, but it's loaded. Serial's stiff, ambitious. His uniform is a little too perfect. The commandant, on the other hand, just wants to keep things quiet before the regional command review. Two men dead? He wants it covered up. Less paperwork, fewer questions. This exchange tells us everything we need to know. The system protects itself before the people. In one of the dialogues, they also mentioned that they drink something like nog or maybe rev nog,
afford drinking Revnog, which
and it's been mentioned a couple of times. So maybe this is the drink that those two guards at the bar were drinking. Either way, from the dialogue itself, it looks like it's something I will not order twice. We're also introduced to a few characters. We're introduced to Bix. Bix is technically inclined. He or she, she's not just a sidekick. She is competent. In fact, she is the person who introduced the Cassian to what do you call this, to Luthen. In one of the dialogues, they're already establishing that there's history between Cassian and Bix, and it's deep. There's definitely chemistry. As proof of that chemistry, Cassian teases her about Tim, the guy she works with.
Are you?
You can tell there's something unresolved there, but messy. They've got bigger problems, apparently. When Cassian asks Bix to connect him with a mysterious buyer, things shift. She hesitates, but makes the call. And with that, my friends, we're on a slow path towards something much bigger, the rebellion spark. Each character is introduced quietly but meaningfully. Brazen, who helps Cassian fix things. Clea, mentioned only in passing, but clearly part of the web. He will become a very important character in the rebellion. Cyril, the kind of guy you know will go too far. And Bix caught in the middle. Look, I was ready to write Cassian off, but man, this series in this particular episode is already interesting for me. The way they have the expositions and the dialogues, it's really nice. It shows us that Cassian is a man with depth, with history, with character. And somehow, as early as now, I'm already feeling trauma inside him, and I think the episode was successful in conveying that pain. And it's a relief, right? So because we're not starting off this series with lightsabers, just like what I said, spaceships. It doesn't have the fanfare. It's just silence, peace sometimes, conflict sometimes. All right, so I will leave you here. And if you enjoy this particular breakdown, let me know. Also, make sure that you hit that subscribe and notification bell button. I will be covering the entire series with passion along with other series as well. So if you I really like you to be part of the conversation, and that's the reason why I'm creating this channel in the first place. Not specifically for Star Wars, but movies or shows in general, because I am finding less and less people who I can talk to. So if you guys would like to participate in this, please feel free to do so. So that's the reason why we are creating this channel. So until our next episode, all right. So I see you then. Bye.